Let's see. I don't see that I'm live. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Guess it don't want to work for me. Having some technical issues. Having a few technical issues. Yo, hold on. Hold on. Hold on just a minute. Because I'm not getting any. So I'm going to have to make sure that my audio is right. Yeah, there we go. So what's going on? What is up, YouTube? What's going on? What is going on with y'all? Welcome to my studio. So, how y'all doing out there? How are y'all doing? Check this, make sure how many people we have in here so far. There we go. So, welcome to my lab. This is your boy Archie Beatz. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing? Make sure I can get my so I can respond back to you guys. Get everything set up. Get everything set up for y'all real quick. Where we going? Shout outs to the 5 people that's watching me right now. Okay, so I can respond because I'm going to respond to all the chats. I'm responding to everything. You guys have any questions, anything, I'm definitely responding. Summer. Okay. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? I don't know how great this iPad shows. I know last time my my MacBook was glitching and having really serious issues, but it looked like that this looks like the computer is doing well. The iPad is doing a lot better, and my phone was having some issues. But yeah, how you guys doing out there? How was your weekend? Make sure you guys comment so I can respond and interact with you guys. I'm Archie Beatz. Of course, y'all know that y'all been checking out my channel. I'm a pro engineer. I'm not just a guy on YouTube that went down to the Guitar Center and bought some equipment one day because I like the way it looked, or I like what it could possibly make me a millionaire driving around in Rolls Royces and Bentleys and stuff. I actually have a passion for it. And that passion has driven me to create projects, engineer for other people, engineer for celebrities, engineer for indie artists, engineer for no pay, engineer for some pay. It just depends on what day of the week it is. But yeah, I have released my EP, Summer I. And when I say released, I'm a singer as well. So I produced, I engineered, mixed, mastered, Played all the instruments on my EP, did it all, you know, within 4 months of recording awesome videos for you guys. I'm giving you studio tips. I was in the process of doing an EP, and it was pretty difficult because I was just appointed as on the producer engineer wing committee over at the Grammys, the Recording Academy, and we've been really cool doing cool events like with Sheryl Crow. We just had brunch with Sheryl Crow last week, and we're doing the list for a guideline to voting for the new nominees that are going to be for the Grammys 2017, the Grammy Awards 60, which is going to be in New York. I'm really excited about that because I moved to Atlanta right before about a year and a half ago. I moved to Atlanta from the West Coast, so I was in LA a lot, and then I was thinking about, okay, I'm probably gonna miss the Grammys a few times since I'm in Atlanta and it's in LA, it's the other side. But now it's in New York, that's literally right up the road, and I would love to go up there to get some pizza and go to Staten Island and just hang out up there. And a lot of my friends live up there as well, so I get to catch up with them. But yeah, my new EP is out. It's called Summer like I said, I produced, wrote everything, engineered everything myself, and including the cool little graphics that you guys see. If you're on my Instagram, I did all of that myself with the flying Archie Beatz and all of that stuff. I design my own stuff. I write my own marketing plan. I execute my own marketing plan. And since I have a good relationship with radio DJs, because I worked in radio, was one of the first jobs I got when I graduated with my degree in engineering. Working in radio was my first job, and it was a really awesome job. I got to meet a lot of cool people, such as Tony Neal, a lot of program directors. So when I put out records, a lot of people ask, how do I get my songs on radio? I have a relationship with DJs and program directors, and they're always just wonderful. And I'm actually building an email list now to send the EP out to my friends or whatever. But you guys can hear me, right? You guys can hear me? Yeah, because I'm getting the stream on I'm getting the stream. But yeah, building relationships. Relationships are so important. You guys have no idea how important relationships are when it comes to working in this industry. I was just doing a Facebook Live video, and I was explaining to people that it's a lot of producers. Now, I'm about to cut this. This is my house. I live in this house. This is my studio. I built this studio with my hands. I know it's not the best studio in the world, but I worked really hard for what I've accomplished and what I've endured over the years. I've worked really, really hard. So I'm gonna say this. I'm a person. My $3,500 Norman U87 right here. If I like an artist, they come to my studio and we record and we make records together. What do I charge them? Nothing. When I believe in an artist, just depending on what the service is called for that week, when I believe in an artist, we're going to work together. I'm going to work with you. I believe in you. Sometimes, you know, you have artists that you work with, but they pay because you need a little money at that time. But for the most part, this is what the arts is about. Now, a lot of people are going to get so upset with me on YouTube, especially the producers out there that's making a living off this. But honestly, I do this. I worked in radio. I was signed to Interscope with a road engineer with my brother Gibbs. The chain hang low. I was around that whole thing. My A&R Erica Grayson. I've been in and out of the labels, the urban side of the industry, the pop side of the industry. I'm a Grammy voter for the Grammys on CBS. We plan a lot of events for the Grammys. So I'm really involved with the industry from a different perspective than a lot of people that are on YouTube. So YouTube is a weird space for me to see, you know, a lot of people explain things when they haven't really worked in the industry. Now, granted, it's a bunch of dope guys that have worked in the industry, but it kind of takes me back a little bit because some of the information is not really good information, and it's not really true. But I'm going to tell you guys now, people that want to work with each other, work with each other. And when you find a dope artist and you're a dope producer, both of you guys are broke. I'm not a millionaire. If I see somebody I want to work with, we're both not at the level we want to be at, but I take the time to work with that artist because we can create something dope. And the narrative that is being projected in the recording industry is just ridiculous. Everybody wants to get paid now, but what you guys don't understand is there's something called royalties. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys heard of that. Now, the significance of royalties is you get paid later for the work that you do now, and you get performance royalties, mechanical royalties, just depending on what your situation is. But we'll get into that another time. But I receive literally thousands of dollars of paychecks based on the music, because I produce my own music. I write my own music and I put it out, and I'm over 1 million spins on Pandora as an artist, and I've only been on there for like a year and a half or something like that. And some of my songs have 200,000 spins, 300,000 spins. You know, I'm an independent artist, but I do have radio. My song last year, Ride For You, was on 17 radio stations spinning simultaneously, and #1 on 3 of those radio stations. And it was actually DJ Cuddy's song, but I produced it, I wrote the hook, and I mixed and I mastered it. So I had a lot of real estate going into that. Tommy, life, you get better, get your parents on. Life is 13-year-old too young to start selling beats. Selling beats. See, that's the thing about it. Not busting your balls. I would never do that. You're never too young to be an entrepreneur. But the thing about it is, when you start out, find a dope artist that will actually rap or sing on your beats. Because they're doing you a favor and you're doing them a favor. When you first start out, you basically do some songs with them. Charging for what? Like most of the money that you're gonna make is not upfront money. Most of the money you're gonna make is if you own the masters, if you have performance royalties on it, and you create the composition, you're gonna get that. Learn the system as far as BMI, ASCAP. Learn the performance rights organization, performance royalties organization. I forgot what the acronym stands for. So you guys can bust my balls about it if you want to. But learn that. Learn those things. Learn what royalties are. Learn how do you get royalties. Learn publishing. Learn different things like that. I know it sounds crazy, and I know it sounds a bit advanced for a 13-year-old, but if you're just out there selling beats, then you're going to have somebody that's going to buy your beat for $20, and then you're going to look up and the beat could possibly make $1 million, and you only made $20 off the beat. I've seen it happen before. Because they wrote out from the paperwork, oh yeah, I just got $20 for the beat, or I got $200 for the beat, I'm good. No. You're not good. Learn the royalties aspect of things, and learn the contract. Learn how records work. Learn how records are made. See, I would never say sell beats until you are in a position to actually be able to make hit records. And I'm sorry that I have to say that, and I'm apologize a lot, because that's just the type of person I am, because I feel like a lot of times I kind of break the bad news to people. But the essence is not selling beats. We're not in the business. The music industry is not a place where you sell beats. The music industry is a place where you make music. Unfortunately, it has turned to a huge business now. So you do have to make a living, but you do make a lot of money in the back end off royalties. But right now, find an artist that is extreme, that you think is great, and that you think that can complement you on what you're doing, and y'all make records together. Even if you have to send them the beat, or y'all sit down and come up with something together, but then you have to give them credit for helping you produce the beat. But that's what I would suggest, is learn music. I would never. That's another thing. I would never tell somebody to just start making beats. Learn music. Get a little music theory. Learn about chords. So that's why I have all these keyboards flying around here, because I'm a music guy. But yeah, do that. I know that was a really long explanation, but find an artist that you think is great in your neighborhood, or around you, and just make music. That's what this is about. This is about making music. Anybody else got any more questions? You better get your parents on board. What's up, Darnell? And yeah, thank you for that question, Tommy. Appreciate it, bro. Let's see. Yeah, I got 10 people, 11 people. I'm going to get to a point to where I'm going to have a lot of people in here, because I'm going to, when I start the Grammy voting process, when I start that, I'm going to actually do some of the voting live. You guys won't be able to look at the piece of paper, but I'm going to be just talking, and it's confidential stuff. but I'm just going to be talking about some of the nominees and different things like that that we're voting for in the Grammys. And I always vote for the arts. No problem, Tommy. I hope it wasn't too tough. It's just the reality of it. And if anybody tell you any difference, then that's their experience in the industry versus my experience, which, like I said, I've worked for free. I've worked for money. And either way it goes, I've learned something from it. But I haven't learned, the biggest lessons I learned, money wasn't involved. So, yeah, man, learn everything. Learn everything. Learn even marketing. You probably won't even end up a producer. You probably end up something like me, a producer, engineer, mixing engineer, mastering engineer. You probably end up doing a lot of different things if you just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. I understand that, and that's fine. I was actually touring in a gospel group when I was 9 years old, so I completely understand. I was getting paid. I was on the road touring with the Rising Suns. That was my gospel group. So, and I did my first live television broadcast when I was 13. So, yeah, it's never too young to be involved in that business, man. Ooh, it's never too young. Yeah, Darnell, yeah, he's young. He's young. Yep. Oh, yes, INFJ. Of course, there is everything you need to know about the music industry, music business, and what you need to know about the music. I can't remember, but I know the author is Donald S. Passman. Look up Donald S. Passman. He's a entertainment lawyer. Donald S. Passman. Yeah, let me get that information for you, but I read the book. Because sometimes I get him confused with Robert Greene, which is the 48 Laws of Power and the Art of War. But anything that's music business related, Donald S. Passman. Donald, yeah. So find some books on him and websites. Record. What is it? Record like a, produce like a pro. That's a really good site. You get a lot of good information from it. If you want a lot of free information, which is really cool as well. He's another guy online that actually really knows what he's doing. He's more on the rock side, and he has, experience dealing with the record industry from a professional aspect, not from a YouTube aspect. That's why when a lot of people, oh, no problem. A lot of people ask me when I first got on YouTube, my first video was my studio tour. And I was showing my Norman U87 and my motifs and all my keyboards and stuff. And they asked me what I did for a living. I do music for a living, damn it. This is I'm like, I didn't get on YouTube to make money. I got on YouTube to give you guys information. And if I can create other resources that I probably will open up an academy or sell a product that's dealing with learning how to make records and learning how to mix records, I will do that. But I really just got on YouTube to help you guys. I didn't get on YouTube to showboat because I've owned the studio for 5 years. And when I got off the road with Jibs, and Bruno Mars, because those were the first guys I worked with major was Bruno Mars and Jibs when I first started in the industry. And Nelly and all those guys like that in the St. Louis and Midwest area. And I learned a lot. The track stars that produce, with Usher, I was their in-house engineer for about 3 years. And I learned a lot from those guys. I learned how to make hit records. But that was just from an engineer aspect, engineer perspective. But yeah, man, I'm enjoying this. You guys got some good questions going. Really good questions going. Yeah. So you guys have any questions about the, hold on. Yes, and if you're the type of person, let me tell you what a real engineer is. A real engineer is a guy that sits up for 30 years and gets records sent to him, or artists come by the studio to record or have records sent to him, and he mixed them and he stay there every day, all day. Those are the successful engineers. The successful engineers are the ones that are doing this all the time. They have no life. They have no, some of them have no families, but they really well. I know it sounds bad, but it's if you love it, that is it sounds like a fairy tale. If you can just sit in front of an SSL console or a Neve console with all the greatest preamps and all the greatest outboard gear in the world, that would be a fairy tale to you. But that's the realistic thing about engineering. And the engineer jobs, there are some out there, but the engineering thing is turning more into since studios have gotten smaller and you can produce a lot of more hit records in small environments. Like I have a small Apollo that can do the same, a $3,000 audio interface that can do the same thing as a $1 million console. And a lot of engineering jobs has turned to in-house, at home. But you just have to learn the entrepreneur perspective of it. And when you learn the entrepreneur and how to reach out to artists and get them to come in, or make friends with engineers at other studios, and then when you fill in. Oh, that's another way. The best way to get an engineer job, and any engineer will tell you this, is always be there when the best guy isn't. When the best guy can't show up, you run in there, you take his position. Iveen did it. A lot of more engineers have done it. That is a guaranteed way to get an engineer job, is to always be there when the best guy isn't, and you can slip in there and start recording and start working. That's the realistic. Did that answer your question, Eric? Or you want to be more specific about anything? Because I can definitely do that as well. Yeah. But yeah, let me just kind of just refine what I was saying about the engineering, since I'm waiting on Eric to respond. Yeah, if you are there when the good guys, they're going to say, hey, you got any other engineers there? Like, yeah, we do. It's this guy in the corner, but, you know, he's all right and stuff. And they're like, well, we need an engineer. Bring him in here. You get paid, and then you get your name on All Music, and you get, like, wiki credits, and it's over with from there. Okay. Do you work with other producers? I see you always so. Eric, I'm going to get to you in a second. Darnell, I do work with other producers. For example, my other production partner, you guys never see him because he works in radio. His name is DJ Cuddy. He's the mix show coordinator for Hot 104 and Radio 1. He's in St. Louis. We work on almost everything together that's not my project. Like the one for last year for Shorty the Prince that was on 106 in Park. And what's the guy named? JR, that has that song with Trey Songz called Best Friend. That song Ride For You that was spinning down in Miami and Mississippi and New Orleans and just everywhere. I produced that record, and that's me singing on the hook. And Cuddy, he did a little thing on the track. But we production partners. And my girlfriend Natasha, you guys rarely see her. We just started a couples channel, by the way. She comes in when she can, but she just started a new business, so we haven't with it. I'm by myself, but I'm really not by myself. I got people that's here, like in a company that's involved with my business and that's involved with everything. But for the most part, I produce everything myself. But I do work with other producers when it's something outside of my projects. Yeah, because I make beats. Eric, yeah, because just because I make beats, and if it doesn't work out, I want to do something in that area. Hey, Eric, it'll always work out. There is no plan B. If you want to make beats, I don't know how old you are, but I'm definitely kissing 10 years in the game, so I'm not a spring chicken, not in age or in experience, but continue to always do what you did first. That's how you don't lose yourself. Make beats, but learn how to mix those beats. And this is another thing. As an engineer, mix the hell out of your beats, man. If you mix them beats, people are going to start asking you to engineer for them. And producers transfer now into engineers smoothly and seamlessly because producers are the one that have the equipment. So, yeah, it's really easy to do, man. It's really easy to do. Just learn sonically where you want your beats. And if you can imagine the way you want an artist to sound, and then you're able to actually articulate that and transduce that to the actual record, then man, you're gonna be well off, and you're gonna be demanded, bro. You are going to be demanded, because you want things to sound like the producer. Okay, record producers have turned to beat makers. Beat makers aren't producers. Producers can have the ability to create a record. They have the ability to produce a record. Now, what that means is produce the record with the artist. Know how to tell the artist, know how the artist is supposed to sing. know how the artist is supposed to articulate certain lyrics that will sound better over your composition, which is your beat. Even producers have the ability to engineer records and tell the engineer what to do. So, yeah. Hey, would you recommend audio production school with people during sessions and experience a full set, SEA, etc.? Well, yes. Hold on. Yeah, it's another beat I'm working on. But yeah, I would recommend any one of those, Full Sail, SAE. To think about it, at that point, it's just paper. Before I went to, because I went to Full Sail and I went to the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences, and I went to Mississippi Valley State for my for music. I went to Mississippi Valley State just for music theory because I was in a jazz band and, you know, singing in the ensemble and playing the keys in the jazz band. And playing the quints, the 5 drums in the marching band. It was a show band, so I really enjoyed that. I am spread it out music. But any of those schools are really good. The point of going to those schools is to learn the technicality of it. It's to learn how to use an SSL. If you go to a major studio, a big commercial studio, you know how to use it. You know signal flow. You understand what a transducer is, how you transfer one form of energy of sound to another form of energy of sound. You're basically learning the fundamental of the recording arts. That's what going to those schools are for. But any of those are good. You just choose whichever one is in your budget, and you just go from there. Yeah. That's cool. You guys are. This is awesome. I'm glad you guys like what's going on here. Look like this is actually my first real live interactive. How many years did it take you before your beat started to show improvement? When you say improvement, do you mean like matching the industry or? Because when I first started out making beats, it was on a drum machine, instruments, and it wasn't any software. It was just basically just music. It was music that was basically composed together. As far as when I started developing the industry sound, is to be honest, I started taking producing serious about 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. And it wasn't until after I got with the Track Stars, which they produced Right There for Chingy, I Like That for Houston, Splash Waterfall remix for Ludacris, and Yeah, they produced Yeah with Lil Jon for Usher. And it wasn't until I got with them till I learned to make space in my beats and learn to get that industry sound. So I was making a lot of complex music with melodic string arrangements and stuff, but it really got refined and it really got sounding industry standard. What's standard in the industry, which is not sounds good, but sounds standard in the industry, was when I got with those guys, because they play instruments too, but they actually settled that they simmered down with the musicianship and kind of gave it a more big sound. So it was until I got with them, and that took me about maybe 3 to 4 years after I started producing. But it's a lot of guys that jump in the studio and get FL Studio or Logic, and they just jump in right off the bat because this software is easy to do versus like having drum machines and MIDI cables and instruments and Proteus 2000s and stuff like that and sound modules. So did that help you out? And yeah, Rashad, thank you for that question. And Eric, thank you for the next question. Get as much information as you guys can. Get as much information as you guys can. So about me or whatever I know, whatever I can give over to you guys. I'm going to be on for another maybe 2 to 5 minutes, and then I'm going to find me something to eat or listen to this record. Let me see what it sounds like now. That you say you've been producing for a year now, and I hear improvements but not satisfied. You're not satisfied, keep going. If you're not satisfied, keep going. Have you taken any music classes or anything like that, or learned any type of chords, or you just producing and just, you know, doing? You have FL or Logic, or what do you use? Oh yeah, well, all it takes is a little. All it takes is just a little theory. That's all it takes. Just a little theory. It's cool. That's cool. You got a little theory, man. You're already ahead of 95% of people. Keep that theory in there. And logic is actually not really how the industry sound, but I know my friend Robert that engineered the Killers album. He engineered and mixed their album in Logic. Everything is more, if you're on the trap side, everything sounds more FL Studio, sounds mechanical. And to me, just because I'm so used to hearing instruments. So when I listen to something like FL Studio, it sounds kind of not robotic, but it sounds really mechanical. And that's what the industry is more now, with the exception of the pop beats. The pop beats got kind of a Logic kind of sound to it. I know it sounds weird. Even the MPC sounds weird to me. But yeah, don't worry about that you've been doing this a year and you're hearing improvement, you're not satisfied. Just keep going. Never stop. Just keep going. Keep making records. Keep listening to your favorite artists and your favorite producers. And if you are a person that knows music theory, you will eventually kind of take a little bit of theirs, a little bit of that, and then you'll become something that's custom, that has your elements in it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Oh, nice. Yes, the six slide positions. I have a lot of friends that play lower brass. My father was a lower brass player, but yeah, that's good. Trombone is an extremely difficult instrument with the slide positions and the, oh man. Yeah, I commend you. Trombone guy, the T-Bones. Jackson State University has some of the best trombones in the country. I like their trombone section, their T-Bone section. And you master that now, and now I'm trying to play piano. How long did it take to master it? Honestly, they kind of call me a prodigy because I started playing piano when I was 11th grade, and by the time I was a freshman in college, I was playing in the jazz band in the ensemble. I was playing the keys, and I got a full music scholarship. But my father, I was always around music, and my brother's a really great pianist player. He played for really big major gospel artists like Todd Tribbett. My brother is a dope pianist. I'm all right. I'm all right. But yeah, they actually did a newspaper article. I was a prodigy in high school because I could play the piano. I just like 3 months I was playing Furry Leaf's Beethoven, and it's most people takes about 6 months to a year to learn from a teacher. But if you have a gift of you already have a gift of music because you play the trombone. If you just sit down there and just start playing, and I'm gonna tell you how I started. I listened to songs that was on the radio, and then I started playing the songs that I heard on the radio, started playing by ear, and then I applied the sheet music when I was playing the drums. I applied that to playing the piano, and I learned how to read music and learn how to read the rhythm of it first, and that's how that happened. Oh shoot! Thanks, Luke. Appreciate that. Did that answer your question, Rashad? That's fine. I mean, a lot of times the scale quantized kind of, you won't really go off key or off rhythm that way. Yeah, but here's a cool thing that you can do too. When you scale it, when you scale quantize in Logic, go back and see if you can actually play it, and then just practice doing that too sometimes, man. Oh man, Darnell, I will definitely do it. I will definitely do it. Y'all just be locked in. And Darnell, if you want to know, make sure you hit the notification bell because I'm going to do this a lot often. And like I said, Grammy voting season is coming up. And I was just appointed as on the producer engineer wing at the Grammy Academy for the Grammys. So that's really exciting. Not only do I vote, but I get to help plan the events around the Grammys and stuff like that and around the Academy. So I'm going to be doing this, man. I'm going to be doing this a lot. I'm going to actually probably do some stuff live so you guys can see what goes on in the Grammys and the events and stuff like that that I can actually broadcast. I'm probably going to start doing that. And of course, some red carpet stuff. So, man, yeah, dude, I'm definitely going to do this, Darnell. Yeah, they do say that. No, it's easy to learn other instruments, but I mean, learning, for example, you see the transition from, have you ever tried to play trumpet? It's easy to transition from a trumpet to a baritone. And I have a first cousin that she's a first chair trumpeter, and she's a first chair flute player. But she's a miracle. Going from a woodwind instrument to a upper brass instrument is really, really, really hard. They're like, what are these guys talking about? But you know what I'm saying, right, Rashad? Yeah, but yeah, if you know theory, it's somewhat true. You can play any instrument, but piano and trombone is a huge jump. You know what I'm saying? That's a really, really, really big skill. So, yeah, yeah, it's the one hand. Start off your left hand, bass it out for now. Just play your basses, play your bass chords. For example, if you're playing a song in C major, just play the C first, and of course you do your C chord and your other chords on this hand, and use this for your melodies. Use your right hand for your melodies and chords, and then master the bass with this hand. And then once you do that, you'll start learning how to play melodies with the bass. Because this is your bass hand. This is your trusty bass hand. I always say, this is your chord and melody hand. This is not basic theory, but I'm just telling you as far as like learning. That's how I learned a lot easier, was to play the bass, learn the bass and the root with the with my left hand, and this with my right hand, the chords and melodies with that. Oh, Eric, now if you want to be a modern producer on radio, just listen to the instruments that they use and just go from there. But if you're just creating records, there is no particular order or instruments that you should use. You just play. You just create the track. Just make the track, and if you're satisfied with it, you go from there. But just don't be so hard on yourself that it don't sound like what is going on in the industry now. Just learn to make like music that you're satisfied with, and if you want to create something that's industry standard, then kind of use the same instruments that they use. Like, of course, in trap, you're going to have your hi-hats, your 808s, your kicks, and then you're going to have a flute and a bell, and maybe some type of synth, and a voice like sound now. In R&B, you have electric piano, then you have a huge synth, and then some some kind of like sine bass and stuff like that. But just listen to like a Chris Brown record, and listen to a Migos record, and you listen to the instruments that they use, and but the drums honestly are essentially the same. The drums are the same, but some of the instruments that they use, as far as the chording and the melodies, are what's different. So. Yes, exactly. And then also the piano is a percussion instrument. A lot of people don't know that the piano is percussion. Yeah. Hey Eric, was that cool? Did you get the flow of that? Did I get to answer that? But yeah, y'all, I think, oh man, we got about 60 seconds. I'm going to go get me something to eat. No, the internet exists now. Eric, the internet exists now. Put your music out. For example, I live in Atlanta, but 30% of my radio spins on Pandora are from California. 3 major cities in California. 1 Southern California city and 2 up north. Two Southern California and 1 Northern California city. I have never done promo there. I've had probably 2 songs on radio there. But it's not really like my biggest concentrated place. But it just goes to show you that my music is more in California. Just put the music out there and people will choose it. Learn the avenues. And I got some great news coming up. So you guys are going to definitely get the hang of a lot of stuff and how I do a lot of things. No problem. No problem, man. No problem. And don't hesitate to listen to my music as well. And because you get to see the music that you hear, you get to see the person actually make that and actually interact with you. So you probably could become you probably can navigate the industry a little better, because I'm going to drop some information within the next few weeks that's going to blow y'all mind, because I'm going to just open up and let you guys know everything from getting your music on the radio, from how to maintain a relationship with DJs, for how to get your music online, how to make money. I'm about to really drop some knowledge real quick within the next coming weeks or whatever. So, you know, how often, question, everybody that's listening right now, comment, how often should I post live videos? And be fair. Be fair. Whoever I get the most answers from, that's what I'm going to do. Like whatever answer I get the most, I'm going to do something in between that and something that's my schedule, because I got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. Nice. Twice a month. I tell you guys what, I'm going to do this for y'all. You know what? I have time to talk. So let's do this, guys. What I'm going to do, and you guys, because I'm gonna be showing a lot of different things. I may have a few people sometimes come over and kind of do it with me. But let's say every 2 to 3 days we're gonna do this. Let's do this every 2 to 3 days. How does that sound? Give me thumbs up if it sounds good. And before I end this video, everybody that has commented today and that was in the chat room, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to follow everybody on Instagram. So you guys put your Instagram and put your Twitter down. I'm going to follow all of you by when I leave out of here, because the comments are going to disappear. So when I end this video, make sure you guys comment your social media, and I will, your Instagram or Twitter. I'm going to follow you guys on Instagram and Twitter if you have both. So when I stop this video, make sure you comment in the comment below on your social media. Just comment with your social media and I will follow. Wait till the video upload, because I'm going to upload this video because I feel like it's great information. But comment your social media right now and I'm going to follow all of you. And I know who was in this chat room, so I know I see it. I got a tab on everybody. So I really do appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video. Turn on your notification bell. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And remember, my EP, Summer I, is out and we are doing numbers. This is your boy, Archie Beatz. And I'm signing off.